to keep informed with the latest happening near you.
From the station that's on your side, breaking news.
Just into our newsroom, we are learning about a fire. It's on Horseshoe Circle off Hephzibah-McBean Road. Firefighters are on scene there. We also have a crew on the way. Of course, we'll keep you updated as soon as we learn more. But we are showing you some still pictures there. You can see from what appears at least part of that structure is at least a total loss. You can see firefighters fighting that fire there. Again, we've got a crew on the way. We will pass along as much information as we can as soon as they arrive on scene. Also want to update you on this. 2 Columbia County schools on soft lockdown. They went on it on lunchtime today. Harlem and Lakeside high schools were actually put on soft lockdown, which means no one could come in or no one could leave from the school during that time. The teenager was a student at Harlem High School. This was what raised the alarm. Deputies believe that he could have been a danger to himself and perhaps someone at Lakeside. So just out of an abundance of caution, they locked down both schools. That student later died off campus. Now, police do not believe there is any risk to any other students. That lockdown has been lifted. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine is changing the vaccine distribution landscape, both nationally and then here on a local scale. Today, South Carolina DHEC says the state's set to receive more than 41,000 doses of that very vaccine next week. But after the initial shipment, they're not expecting to get more for the following 2 weeks. They say among a certain amount of uncertainty, it's important that you make your vaccine appointments and that you keep them. Happening right now, the first people in South Carolina in Phase 1B are getting vaccinated a little early. It officially starts Monday, but Darlington Raceway received a special exemption to move to Phase 1B for their mass vaccination site today. McLeod Health organizers plan to give shots to 5,000 people once it's all said and done. All of those appointment slots did fill up. Governor McMaster says this vaccine progress doesn't quite mean we'll have a normal summer, though.
I have to be careful for a long time, but it'll be much better than this in the summertime, that's for sure.
Take precautions. It won't be quite a summer pre-COVID. The light's at the end of the tunnel, and I think summer of next year will definitely be there.
We have heard, too, that the mask restriction on restaurants has been lifted, so we're trying to get back to normal, but like they both said, we're not there yet. McLeod Health saying they're administering about 500 shots every hour. They say if they hadn't opened up to Phase 1B, they wouldn't have filled all the available slots, and we all know we don't want those vaccines to go to waste. This special exemption for the Darlington Clinic to offer people in the 1B group shots comes just days before the whole state expands eligibility. Monday, South Carolina opens vaccines to people 55 and older and essential workers, including teachers. Phase 1B also includes people at an increased risk of getting a severe case of COVID and people in an increased risk setting. You can make an appointment at scdhec.gov/vaxlocator, or you can call the number on your screen. We'll also put that on our website and WRDW app. Georgia is adding people to its 1A plus phase on Monday, too. New groups include pre-K through 12 educators and staff, adults with developmental disabilities and their caregivers, and also parents of children with complex medical conditions. As vaccine doses become more available, healthcare providers are honing in on making sure that shots reach underserved communities. Our Brady Trapnell takes us to Harrisburg, where organizers held a clinic there today.
Harrisburg Family Healthcare says people have been driving, biking, and walking to get their shot here today. And that's why they put this clinic here, to give people more access.
Commissioners Francine Scott and Jordan Johnson worked to pull this together with the help of Gold Cross and St. Luke United Methodist. They say people were lined up outside starting at 8 a.m. when the clinic didn't open until 9. Throughout the day, it's been busy. Harrisburg Family Health called those who live in the area and every single one of their patients. Commissioners even went and knocked on doors. Commissioner Scott says they're trying to meet a need in a community that's underserved.
There are people that just don't have a telephone to register. So we got to be very creative in how we get this shot out. Is it a dent? No. But is it a start? Absolutely.
AU Health is also trying to reach underserved communities by doing clinics at Faith Outreach Church in South Augusta. And coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, how the community is trying to break down barriers with the COVID-19 vaccine. Reporting in Augusta, Brady Trapnell on your side.
Thanks for that, Brady. A beautiful day out there today. I mean, it's Friday, so we're in a good mood because of that anyway. But Riley, a nice day if you could get outside, maybe have lunch outside.
Definitely so. We saw high temperatures back close to more seasonal averages for us. We are hitting the mid to upper 60s across most of the area. 67 so far for a high here in Augusta, but it looks like Swainsboro will most likely take that top prize, coming in at 68 this afternoon. Not quite as warm as yesterday, and we're going to continue that trend of cooling off into our Saturday. High temperatures tomorrow, likely staying in the 50s for most of us. Here's a look at current temperatures. We're in the upper 50s in Saluda, in Edgefield, Bamberg as well. The rest of us are enjoying the 60s. It is another beautiful afternoon. Through this evening, we are going to notice more cloud cover start to move in. This is going to be thanks to a very weak disturbance that's going to move through the region into early Saturday. So the first part of your Saturday, definitely not looking sunny by any means. Here's a look at it via our infrared satellite imagery. This is not radar, so it's looking more impressive than what it really is. But this is all the cloud cover that's going to be heading our way over the next few hours. Much more on that weekend forecast in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Riley. The Senate is in the middle of a marathon amendment voting spree as Democrats push to pass the President's American Rescue Plan. As Skylar Henry reports, President Biden is also closely watching the Senate vote outcome, hoping for his first legislative win.
The Senate continues its hours-long so-called vote-a-rama with a final vote on the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan expected sometime over the weekend.
We are going to power through and finish this bill, however long it takes.
We're about to watch one party ram through a partisan package on the thinnest of margins.
Ahead of the vote, Democrats agreed to maintain federal unemployment benefits at $300 per week and extend them through September. $1,400 stimulus checks will phase out for single filers earning more than $75,000 and joint filers earning more than $150,000. Here at the White House, the focus also continues on the pandemic and recovery, with President Biden hosting a Friday afternoon roundtable on the American Rescue Plan and meeting with his economic team.
We can't afford one step forward and two steps backward. We need to beat the virus, provide essential relief, and build an inclusive recovery.
Meanwhile, the director of the CDC says she will soon release long-awaited guidelines for those who've been fully vaccinated against COVID-19.
We are making sure and taking the time to get this right.
Dr. Walensky also urged everyone to double down on prevention measures such as mask wearing. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Today, Senator Bernie Sanders brought up an amendment to include the $15 minimum wage increase in the Senate bill, though it is expected to fail. Some Democrats say it should be separate from the COVID-focused bill. Americans are going back to work as the economy starts to rev up again after a year of the pandemic. Last month, the U.S. economy added a better than expected 379,000 jobs. The unemployment rate fell from 6.3 to 6.2%. A year ago, the unemployment rate hit a 50-year low of 3.5%. When the pandemic shutdown started, job losses skyrocketed. The rate slowly dropped over the course of the year, as you can see. Experts say there are signs the economy and job market are ready for a resurgence.
We have 9.5 million fewer jobs than we had a year ago. People spend money, companies then need more help. They need to hire more people have jobs.
This all comes as Congress negotiates that new round of unemployment benefits and stimulus checks, and people begin to get back to their old spending habits. In South Carolina, initial jobless claims peaked in April of last year with more than 87,000 new claims in a week. In the most recent claims ending week, February 27th, just over 4,000 people filed an initial claim. From week to week, it's been hovering around that range since about August of last year. Meanwhile, more than 28,000 people filed initial unemployment claims in the Peach State during the last claims week. Since last March, the state's filed more initial claims than the last 9 years combined. And while it's been hard for everyone, women have been hit the hardest. The Labor Department says 275,000 women left the workforce this past January compared to 71,000 men. A LinkedIn survey finds 70% feel that they need to lower their career expectations, while 60% of women feel they're underperforming in all areas of life. A LinkedIn editor says there just aren't sustainable policies in place for working remotely and working during the pandemic.
Despite the struggles that women are facing at home, there's still this stigma stigma that you can't feel like you can talk about with your manager what you're facing at home, and the pandemic has made all of that worse.
LinkedIn is also encouraging women to speak up if they think they deserve a raise, but finds they are less likely to do so than men. Capitol Police want National Guard troops. All right, we see these stories every day, and I'm sure more than a few of you have experienced this yourself. Yes, we're talking about porch pirates. As online shopping increases, it's happening more and more often. But now, Georgia could make it a felony for people who steal a single package off someone's front porch or step, no matter the value. That charge includes mandatory prison time from 1 to 5 years. Just yesterday, the House voted to approve a bill which creates a specific crime of porch piracy. The bill also makes it a felony to steal 10 pieces of mail from 3 different addresses. It is your last weekend to head out to Aiken Fest. There are some changes, though, to the schedule to let you know about. Today and Sunday, gates are open at 6. Tomorrow, they open at 1. They have rides, games, and, of course, fair food. It's all happening at the Western Carolina Fairgrounds on Mayoral Drive. All eyes to Atlanta this weekend for the NBA All-Star Game. Coming up, we explain how COVID precautions aren't the only things that are different this year. Riley?
Meredith, we are expecting a mostly dry weekend, but definitely going to notice cooler temperatures for Saturday. Have a look at that coming up.
A life-saving vaccine collides with a life-altering diagnosis.
What you see here are all these masses.
Why doctors say both are safe.
Very rarely breast cancers can present this way.
But timing is critical. Monday on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Aim to be there more. Talk to your doctor about Aimovig.
The court for this Sunday's NBA All-Star Game in Atlanta will pay tribute to historically black colleges and universities. The court was designed by HBCU alumni from various schools, and it showcases the best of academics, music, and campus life. The NBA is donating more than $3 million in support of HBCUs and COVID-19 equity. Meanwhile, the whole city of Atlanta getting ready for the All-Star Weekend. Megan Packer shows us how they're working to keep people safe from COVID and from violence. Look closely, and you'll see Atlanta is getting ready to host the NBA All-Star Game at State Farm Arena.
He said it must be something, man. All-Star Game.
There are competing parties advertising the biggest and best All-Star parties throughout the city. But some who live here, like Michelle Merritt, are hoping partiers stay safe.
And I do understand everyone's anxious. I mean, the sun is out, it's bright, it's going to be a great weekend. But if people could just use some caution, at the very least, wear a mask. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see that happen.
Atlanta police are sending a stern warning for venues to not host unsanctioned events. They're also asking people to not turn to gun violence.
We're just asking that if there are any conflicts at some of these establishments, that we're asking that people just use common sense and then just be able to talk their way out of situations. Just being able to walk away if things begin to escalate.
That is apparently not what happened here at Oak Atlanta this afternoon. Police say there was a dispute, a man left, and later came back with a gun, firing shots into the business's front doors as he drove by.
We don't know what provoked this.
But Corey Felder with Oak seemed to not know why the venue was targeted.
We're not really sure of what happened, what it was. We don't have any bad business with anyone. We don't have any issues with anybody.
After they clean up, their events will continue into the weekend.
We'll probably have 24-hour security just to make sure that everybody is safe and feels a little bit better.
Unlike in past years, the All-Star festivities will happen all in one day with the skills challenge and three-point contest taking place before the game. The slam dunk contest will happen at halftime. It is a beautiful Friday out there, but Riley, it is a little bit chillier than it was. We were getting pretty used to those warm temperatures this week.
I know, Meredith. I was getting used to those temps in the 80s last weekend. That's what I was really liking. Unfortunately, this weekend, just not looking the same whatsoever. We should actually stay most likely in the 50s for high temperatures on Saturday, and then Sunday bumping up a little bit, but really expecting highs only close to 60 by Sunday afternoon. Now, here's a look at radar. This is showing a disturbance that is going to be heading our way as we head into tonight. Now, it is currently producing rain for some places, but we're not really anticipating this to produce rain for us here in the CSRA. Now, I won't say there's a 0% chance of rain because that is a guarantee it will rain, but we are just really anticipating this to bring us some cloud cover, Maybe you feel a raindrop if you're going to be driving around all over the CS area all day long. Maybe run into a raindrop in one or two spots, but don't cancel outdoor plans. It should be completely, or I won't say completely, it will be mostly dry for your Saturday. Now, early Saturday morning, it is going to be chilly. We're expecting upper 30s north of I-20, most likely mid to low 40s for us here in Augusta and further south. And definitely notice the cloud cover. Clouds are going to be with us tonight and early Saturday, but the rain should stay away for the most part. But there you go, folks. Maybe a raindrop in one or two spots, but nothing that would ruin your day. If anything does happen, once again, you feel a few raindrops. So I won't say you won't have any rain on Saturday, but it just looks very low for most of us. And we should see those clouds break heading into Saturday evening. Sunday morning is going to be even cooler. We are expecting some spots to actually get down close to freezing. This model is staying way too warm Sunday morning, but doing a good job with high temperatures. Later into the day, we are expected to hit the low 60s for us here in Augusta and further south. Or further north you go, you may stay in the upper 50s, but at least feeling a little bit better than what we're anticipating on Saturday. So for tonight, definitely expect the cloud cover to be moving in. For us here in Augusta, we're expecting those low temperatures most likely staying in the 40s. Heading into tomorrow afternoon, partly sunny means you're going to see more clouds than sun throughout the day. But later into the afternoon, we likely will see a few breaks in the clouds. Those winds will be out of the northeast anywhere from around 5 to 10. The high temperatures tomorrow, once again, staying mostly in the 50s for us. So definitely not as warm of a day anticipated for your Saturday. But heading into the weekend, it does, at least Sunday, we do warm up just a tad. Now, the really nice weather, the spring-like weather, that's going to head our way again next week. We are expecting to hit 70 again by Tuesday. And then Thursday and Friday of next week, we're talking upper 70s.
Corner, but what if this year, instead of cleaning your house, you spruced up your devices? Coming up, we talk about the best ways to get space on your phone, because I know we all need that, right?
If you were 60, nothing until we win for you.
We're coming up on spring, which means it is getting to be time for some spring cleaning. It's also a good time to clean up your tech. Jamie Tucker has some ideas on how to spruce up your devices to make room and improve your phone's performance.
All that stuff you do on your phone, the texting, the sharing, the taking photos, it all leaves digital breadcrumbs on your devices, taking up storage space and slowing down the phone. So now is a good time of year to do a little digital housekeeping.
First, look through all those text messages stored on your phone. They're all taking up space, especially the ones that have photos and emoji. So open up your messaging app, delete the ones you don't need. While you're at it, go to settings and storage and see what else is hogging storage space. On an iPhone, it's laid out for you. On an Android device, you'll see it in device maintenance. These are easily deleted. On an iPhone, look at the amount of storage documents and data the app is using. If Facebook, for example, is using a lot of storage space, delete the app and reinstall it, which will clear all of that away. You won't lose anything forever by deleting it. It's all stored on Facebook, so you'll see it when you reinstall the app. And speaking of Facebook, it's a good time to see what apps and websites you've been given permission to see your Facebook information with. In your Facebook settings, look for apps. All those icons are websites and apps you've signed in for using your Facebook credentials. They have access to your Facebook profile, photos, friends, and more. You've probably signed up for some you no longer use or even remember. Delete those. It's a good way to protect your privacy. And now that you're on a roll, go through your smartphone and delete any app you no longer use.
And just like spring cleaning your house, this can take some time, but you don't have to do it all at once. The important thing is that you do it. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Some good advice. It's also a good time to update your passwords, especially for your critical accounts like email and bank accounts. You never know. All right, breaking news just into our newsroom. The Birmingham Police Department is asking for your help finding this missing person. They say the search for Jordan Valentine has expanded. They say she was last seen February 27th in the Birmingham area. Information gathered during the investigation indicates that she may be in Bessemer, Auburn, Opelika, or Jenkins County in Georgia. So she could be in our area. If you have seen her, if you have any information, call the police. The number 205-297-8413.
For the weekend, we are expecting Sunday to be the better of the 2 days. We are going to have to battle some clouds for your Sunday, and it is looking fairly cool. Now to look at that full forecast next.
Yeah,
24/7.
Take a look at your community calendar. Rain or shine, the city of Aiken is inviting you to get out and support local small businesses. Just head over to downtown Aiken for their spring sidewalk sale. It does end on Sunday, but a great way to support small businesses right here in the CSRA. And the weather does look mostly dry this weekend. Saturday, I'm not going to tell you won't feel a raindrop at some point during the day, but really nothing that you should cancel any plans for. They're expected to stay completely dry in Asheville and Charleston this weekend. If you plan on maybe taking a road trip, we are expecting those temps to be on the cooler side. Pretty much everywhere around the Sioux State and even up into North Carolina should stay in the 50s for high temperatures on Saturday. Now by Sunday, here in Augusta, we should be able to hit the low 60s, and we're expecting plenty of sunshine to return on Sunday. So the better weekend day is definitely going to be on Sunday.
All right, thank you, Riley. Coming up in the next half hour, a father facing murder charges for killing his son. Sydney Heiberger breaks down what happened and the new details we learned today.
When we say we're on your side,